Whether it's a start at early doors or more like last orders, bit of tales of the unexpected mixed with Karate Kid there, having a bit of crack with it has to be the best way of forgetting the hardship. Crack, by the way, is local talk for fun and not the other thing. 3 times I've folded this panel, and as it turns out, I'll have made these oval flanges for a 3rd time by the end of all this too. If I had to say the one thing that I've learned about my own work ethic above anything else, is being able to slow down and have patience with every job. Let's not start analysing for time effectiveness. If you're concerned with that whilst restoring your machine, we're not doing the same thing. So long as you can get out there for however long and just get into it, you're winning. And I envy you the lack of deadline. I don't think there's anything that can't be achieved, given enough patience. But on this particular panel, and on this particular attempt, I've never been more acutely aware of the phrase, measure twice and cut once. Something that I'm not sure I've ever mentioned, but I like to mark metal with a biro, purely because it makes a super fine line to cut to, but it doesn't rub off so easily, and it does react with paint if left on. It was only whilst doing this round of work, using WD as lube for the jigsaw blade, I found that the fluid is great in a pinch for dissolving the ink. I mean, thinners is probably better, but there's always a tin of penetrating fluid knocking about. Look at these holes in the original panel. The oval ones especially, they seem to have been nibbled or punched out. I'd love to know what kind of a tool was used on these, but I figure I'd be able to probably do them with the jigsaw and some files. Remember round holes turning square? Well, get ready for a poor attempt at round holes turning oval. It's fair to say that the hole cutting didn't go so well, certainly on the bigger holes, and while I was scratching my head over it, I ran out of time. So there are still 2 holes to be cut, but with the little time I'd left, I had to go and get that sweet job satisfaction hit by doing some fitting up of the almost finished cradle in the chassis. It's not sitting exactly right, and that's mainly because of a few areas that need to be trimmed. So that's what I did. Okay, about the mess I made of cutting a hole in this cradle. You see, I spent a disproportionately studious amount of time researching step drills, the obvious choice for something like this, but a tool I've never used before. The short version of the story is, I got put off by the price of what you'd consider a reliable brand name, but I learned a few things along the way. 2 flutes are better than 1, so comparative tests seem to prove. And that it's tough to tell whether one form of case hardening or surface treatment is better than another when it comes to step drills. The fun part is that as I was leaving Delta Auto Body, Sai handed me a set of 3 drills, each a 2 flute model, and I was able to make short work of cleaning up the duff hole and drilling its counterpart on the other side. Locally, flute also refers to something else. Do you ever hear the one, 2 flutes walk into a bar? Soup is funded by patronage, and you may have noticed that outside of Delta Auto Body, the series is produced in a garden shed. I'd like to build an extension. So if you'd like to lend your support, find the link to my website in the description where you'll find all support options. To my new patrons, Oisin Quigley, Jaime Flores, Patrick, Martin Adamek, Ian Edwards, Gaspard Leon, Gary Rodriguez, Harman Visser, Vincent Parisien, Eric Howell, Dietrich Trustful, Richard Garside, Ben Peake, Toby McNichol, Neil Pimley, Jeremy Saint-Hilaire, Rob Davies, Bowden Matthews, Spencer, and some friendly faces. Motoring journalist Carlton Boyce, Honda restorer and fanatic Abby Kyrios, car guy and Irish sand yachting guru Alan Watson, the man who amongst other things lent me the clamps you saw in this episode, and old pal and fellow Greek petrol head Lefty Xantakis. Thanks dudes, and thank you to all my patrons who help keep me motivated. I'll see you next time, and until then, stay stuck in and good luck.